So today I'm going to be showing you guys a bit of an unusual build I've cooked up, which I think has some pretty decent synergy. Now, the standout item of this build is the epoch. I know the epoch has a pretty bad reputation, but as of recently I've been really coming around to it on the bots, simply because it is very decent against War Striders. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be a War Strider seed or not, but I want to show you guys that this weapon is valid on both War Strider seeds and off War Strider seeds. Because it can take out Fabricators in 2 shots, which is not terrible, and it is pretty good against everything else on the bot front as well. Because once you get to the max charge, it does do anti-tank damage. Not as much as the Quasar, but still a pretty good amount. And it is not bad at all at dealing with Comsa Devastators either. So I'm going to be pairing it with just about anything I can to make sure I don't flinch and miss that shot. So first of all, there is going to be the red gimp suit, as I like to call it, or the medium unflinching armor. This armor set isn't bad, it's not my favorite, but having a little bit of extra armor is nice against the bots, because anything above 100 gives you headshot protection and makes a pretty big difference, as well as the unflinching passive itself stops you from flinching as much when you get hit by a ranged attack, which happens a lot on the bots. This build is very hampered when you get flinched. This helps a lot to keep, to stay on target a bit more. The radar pings are, they're nice, but they don't make that much of a difference for my playstyle at the very least. I'm going to be using the scythe because this is a big open map, and unflinching also helps the scythe a lot. It lets you stay on target for just that extra amount of time you need to laze a Devastator. I'm going to be pairing it with the Senator because it takes out Hulk Eyes really well. Having Heavy Pen on demand is nice. It's got much better ammo economy than the Ultimatum, which is why I'm going to be bringing it over that. And Thermites, I really struggle to see an argument for any other grenade except the Thermite on bots, except maybe the Stun. But the Stun, since you only get 4 and they don't blow up Fabricators, I think it's a little big of an ask. If you got 6, or if they blew up Fabricators, I think I would bring these over the Thermites sometimes, especially if I was running something like the Recoilless Rifle. But in this case, I think they've been power crept kind of hard. Even though I really liked them when they first came out, they're just not as relevant anymore. Hopefully in the future they get some love, but in terms of stratagems, I'm going to be taking a shield gen pack to again help with not being flinched or staggered when charging the epoch. Because if you get flinched or staggered, sometimes you hit the ground right in front of you, and I don't need to explain why that's bad. I'm going to be using the 500 kg primarily to blow up objectives, but also to deal with outposts and help in general if there's a big scary patrol. And the orbital Gatling barrage, because this is a geological survey mission, and I need something to saturate an area on a relatively low cooldown, and the Gatling barrage is excellent at that. It's just a good pick on every faction, I think. And finally, I'm going to be running Vitality Enhancement, because it is going to help with the medium armor, or the medium plus armor, because it's 125 now. It's going to make you even a bit tankier than you were before. It might be a little painful to do without stamina enhancement, but I'll manage. Anyway, that's the build. I think I covered everything, so I'll see you guys in the gameplay. Alright, so as always, let us start getting set up. I landed near extraction, but not on extraction in case it was occupied, but it isn't, so I'm going to be throwing a resupply on there. Just so we have it later when we need it. Because in solos, extract is usually a very scary prospect. It's you have to stay in one spot, you can't run away, which is a very important technique in general, but especially for solos. And having extra supplies here does make a pretty big difference. Oh, here's a patrol immediately, but if I sniped out the guy, it's unfortunate because I'm wearing a sweater and I'm overheating. I'd like to take it off, but oof. Here we go. So I am going to use the orbital Gatling barrage because that is just on an excellent cooldown. You always have it available pretty much. And it's going to help clear out some of the bots. Though it is coming in at a really terrible angle, so it might not be getting that much. But you see, unflinching actually already has made a pretty big difference there. It lets you really stay on target way better with the side and just any laser weapon than you could with a normal or an armor set without this passive. I actually did run out of heatsink, but that's fine. You get extra, and I'm going to run back to the resupply anyway, which is unfortunate because I'm actually going to take 2 boxes. I don't like running around without max stims, but still having a box here might make a difference in the future. And that is something I really should emphasize if I ever make a solo strategy video, that intelligent and frequent use of your resupply really makes a big difference. Because if you do not use your resupply on cooldown pretty much, you're not getting full value out of it. And you always need all those stims and all that ammo. Oh, that one-shots them. Okay, that's pretty nice. I mean, these guys, barrager tanks, are kind of a joke. They pretty much never fire. But the fact that it one-shots them is still pretty nice. And I don't want to aggro that cannon turret, but I do want to take out that. Oh, I think this might be in range. I don't think that's going to work. It might be in range of the jammer. Yes, it is. It's a little tough. But one nice thing about the shield jetpack is that it is very good one-shot insurance on the bots. So a lot of things that would one-shot you instead just break the shield and you survive. Most of the time. Sometimes it still gets you. But in general, it is pretty decent at not dying. It's one of the best defensive tools in the game, even though they did nerf it after launch and have never rebuffed it. It's still really good, just for that one-shot protection. I don't know if I use it on any other front, to be honest. Alright, I need to get out of the sightline of just about all these things that are coming after me. There you go. Yeah, getting shot at by a cannon turret and a strider behind me is a little scary, but I hate it when they survive. I'm not sure what causes that, because sometimes they survive the missile exploding, and that is really unfortunate when you need them gone. Alright, so now I can... This is, oof. One of the advantages of the Senator is that it is actually usable as a secondary, contrary to... Okay, well that was very interesting tech. If you bait a cannon turret into shooting a stratagem jammer, it blows it up. Holy shit. That was very fortunate for me to discover that right now. And that made it a lot easier because I was kind of dreading having to do that with a cannon turret breathing down my neck. But wow, goddamn, that's good. I totally forgot what I was saying before. Oh yes, the Senator, compared to the Ultimatum, which is kind of just a utility, the Senator you can actually swap to it when your primary is out of ammo because it's faster than reloading, as we all know. It's got that use as an actual primary or actual pistol, and like in situations like that. Did that cannon turret also take him out? This guy's just my best friend. I say before he one-shots me, which he is really trying to do. Alright, it is 2 taps to the cannon turret of a factory strider with the epoch. Go for the missile on this guy. I don't think the scythe can set those guys on fire, because I have shot at them for a while before, and it just did nothing. Alright, let us, I think, kind of just throw the kitchen sink at this outpost and hope things die. That is the Helldiver way. I am amazed that killed the factory strider. I guess it was probably softened up from the epoch hits, because the plasma AoE I think does damage to main, even if you're hitting just what's it called, the turret, because it does have a decently large AoE. Not as big as it seems, which I know is one thing that really irks people about the epoch, but it is still not negligible as an AoE weapon. Alright, so now, okay, I got a little scared, and that means I wasted a shot. Yeah, using the epoch's always a little scary because it is brutal when you blow yourself up. It's absolutely very possible to avoid, but it is still a little scary. Now this is a Scorcher. Oh. I think the shield coming on at that second saved me from that one trooper shot that would have killed me. But the flamethrower hulks in general are kind of a nightmare to take out with the Senator, so I like to just thermite them. They move around so aggressively and bob their head up and down that getting 3 shots in a row with this insane sway is just a nightmare. I really hope they just like straight up remove sway from the game. I think it is a terrible mechanic and it feels really bad if you're somebody who likes precision weapons and sidearms. So I didn't mention it, but this is a tank seed instead of a War Strider seed, which is nice because I don't have to fight War Striders, but that means I also don't get to showcase the epoch against War Striders, even though I think it's really good against them. Simply for the fact that it can 2-shot them anywhere to the body, and you don't have to wait for the very long recharge of a Quasar. So I think it's a side grade to the Quasar on the bots. It gives you a little bit more upfront damage because you have 3 rounds per mag, and instead of having to wait for the reload, you can just reload it yourself. And it's a lot easier to get stationary reloads off on the bots if you can find cover and not get ragdolled than it is on the bugs and the squids, because they really do not give you any breathing room. That is I think that might be I'm not sure if that's a POI or a SAM site. I'll go check it out. Well, after we're done with this. Really? You saw me from all the way over there? Oh. Well, that is fine. That is an advantage of the Quasar over the epoch, is that it has a way more range. So see, right now we are at 120 meters, so I think I can still hit him, but it's going to be a tougher shot. Especially considering the epoch, for some reason, still has a little bit of spread. Alright, let us cover both our flanks with our stratagems. Oh, that was a clean hit that the Hulk survived. Because of course he did. Did not survive that. And that was a huge waste on a trooper, but it is fine. Alright, the shield should keep me safe while I do that. And I can just prone all the time. See, even with weapons with 0 recoil, you still want to prone, because it just makes you a smaller target, and it mitigates the aforementioned sway. Oh, hello. I'm glad, well, I'm not glad you've been neutered, actually, because it's kind of just a free enemy when he spawns. Which, is a little sad. Okay, that's a lot of tanks. The epoch still isn't bad against tanks, but it's definitely better against War Striders, which honestly are way bigger threat than tanks are nowadays. So I think that's more important to have an anti-War Strider weapon than an anti-tank weapon. Well, I suppose the damage is anti-tank, but you get what I mean in terms of what role it fills in your arsenal. Alright, I want to check out what that is over there. If I can get out of this pit. Yeah, let's not get any more heat than we need. Is that a bunker? I think that might be a bunker, actually. But I don't have the warp pack, so it's kind of useless. Yeah, that is a bunker. I don't think I've ever seen this configuration before for the bunker. With the farm, like, covering it? That's interesting. I don't know if that's new or just kind of rare, but... You are being a nuisance. So the scythe is okay at taking out the Strider rockets, but the Striders do move around a lot. So sometimes it is hard to keep the scythe on target for the entire time, even with unflinching and the shield backpack. These two things do make it a lot easier to stay on target when you're getting shot at the very least. Alright, the Eagle's back, so I'm just gonna yet again hope for a lucky one-shot. I'll help it along with the epoch. One strength of the epoch actually is that it seems to kind of not care about where you hit the enemy from. Like, it is still better to hit them in the weak point like that. Like, you can take out Hulks in one shot to the eye visor, but you can still do a good job against enemies from every angle. Which is only true of some... What the hell was that? Only true of some support weapons. What is blowing up? Is there an artillery that's not been announced? It's freaking me out. Let's thermite this gentleman, and let's get rid of this cannon turret. Here is another... Oh wait, is a barrager actually shooting his rockets for the first time in years? That might have been it, actually. Because this seems to be a seed with a lot of tanks active. Okay, I'm going to be in range of his miniguns, which is really bad. Priest him, and... Okay, I should have shot the minigun. But see, unflinching actually just like lets you stay on target so well compared to other passives. And the Senators are pretty decent at taking out the miniguns on the factory strider chins, because they are medium armor. So heavy pen does full damage, as previously mentioned, which is quite nice. Because otherwise, if it only does medium penetration, like say the lip penetrator, it will only do, I think, 40% damage. Because if you shoot something that is the same armor level as the weapon's penetration, the damage is actually reduced. That's what the white markers indicate when you hit something. Red means you're doing full damage and you're above the armor threshold. And that's where you want to be. Alright. My biggest pet peeve though for the epoch is that almost everything it wants to shoot at takes 2 shots and has 3 rounds per mag. Oh my goodness, okay. I think the shredder tank behind him got me. Yeah, also do not land on tanks in solo because it is very difficult to actually survive that. They send you into the stratosphere. Holy shit. They send you into the stratosphere and you kind of do need your reinforcements a lot more in solos than you do in teams. Just because you only have 5 compared to, 20 in a 4 stack. So it's very rare that it's actually worth burning a reinforcement to take out a tank in solos. In my humble opinion. So here is a LiDAR station. I honestly really wish there were LiDAR stations in every mission. It's so nice to actually be able to see where everything is. Alright. So no, I think it really does make a difference where you hit it on holes. Because the last video I used the epoch, I was trying out a tech where it was a small hit and a big hit that killed them. But that feels a little strange. Yeah, see, sometimes it works, but I think he was damaged by his buddy behind him. I mean, it's best to go for the eye anyway with the big shot, because that one shot's not like that. But see, 3 heavies like that, it would have taken the Quasar way longer to deal with them. Because you would have to shoot one, run away, wait for the recharge, shoot another, run away, wait for the recharge, and shoot another. So the Quasar is only really good in either if you have other anti-tank on your team to help deal with big clumps of heavies like that, or you're playing a very hit and run play style, which is definitely fine. That's a valid way to play. I mean, I just did a FRV video on the squids, I think yesterday or a couple of days ago, it depends when I upload this one, where I was just playing hit and run the entire time, and it was an absolute blast. I really recommend you watch that, or at least try the FRV for yourself, because holy shit, I don't think I ever had as much fun on the squids as I did that mission. Because everything that made the squids annoying, which was, you know, getting run down by flesh mobs forever, is just not a problem when you have the FRV to go wherever you want. So I'm going to hope that the orbital Gatling barrage covers me, and that Hulk misses every shot he takes. I kind of miss when the bots were... this might be controversial, but I do miss when the bots were a little bit more accurate, because now it still feels like they miss really easy shots they shouldn't. But it is also nice they don't wall hack nearly as much anymore, because the wall hack was that was just not okay. It was not fun to deal with at all. Alright, oh, I should have used that is a pretty big clump of Devastator, so I'm actually using epoch shot on that. And see, that takes out like a big clump of them. It's not a huge radius, but it is like perfectly decent. Oh, okay. It's definitely not something you want to spam. You do want to preserve shots for heavies. Okay. It's a bad angle, so I'm going to let my senator do the talking for me. See, and that's why I like having a medium pen or heavy pen sidearm like the Talon or the Senator, because even though it is usually like 9 times out of 10 better to go for the light weak spots like the missiles or just Devastator heads, it is nice to have that fallback in case you can't hit it or you're in a position where hitting it would be hard. So I actually don't know if, yeah, the Gatling does take that out. That's the first time I've used it to do that, I think. The illegal broadcast missions are, you know, just about everything kills them. So I am going... why am I running this way? I saw the Hulk neuron activate when you see the heat vent. But the scythe does suck against heat vents. It does very little DPS. So I think even you would pretty much have to stun a Hulk in order to kill him with the scythe from the back. Same with the Senator. The Senator does not do crazy DPS. It's a very slow fire rate and a pretty slow reload rate. Unless you're running Gunslinger, which if bots ever get an underground cave mission equivalent, I have an idea for a build that I think could be really fun, which would be a Gunslinger and either with a Senator or the Talon and a ballistic shield. I mean, you could do it in an open map. I just don't think it'd be nearly as good as it would be in a close map. Another War Strider. There was a lot of those today, or Factory Strider. But you know what? I have a pretty good weapon to deal with them. Because really, the main thing for Factory Striders is you want to disarm them. And once they are disarmed, they are kind of not a big deal. Though the Gatlings are what's really scary. Alright, here's one, and yeah, that one is still alive. But the Senator will take us home. I hope. Yep, that was the last shot I needed. So let me burn all my thermites actually, because I'm going to grab 2 resupplies. and take cover. The base of the hell pods actually does serve as cover. Like the solid part at the bottom, I don't think enemies can destroy that. Or at least if they can, I've never seen them do it. So it is very reasonable to use that as cover in a big open area like this. Though of course it is not very much cover, it is better than zero cover. So this seems like a clump. And you know what we do to clumps? There we go. Here's another advantage of the side, is that it's a really fucking good lighting tool. It is better than the flashlights in this game, by like quite a wide margin if you ask me. So when it gets night, it actually does make things a lot easier to see. Oh, seeing doesn't really matter if you're ragdolled forever by onions. Holy shit, okay. Well, that was, I don't think I could have survived that in any armor. I think that was like 2 or 3 consecutive headshots from a Scout Strikers. Even though the missiles are like really what's scary because they one-shot you, their guns do a shitload of damage. Alright. So I think this 2-tap Shredder tank turret from the front. Nope, it is a 3-tap, or unless I missed. From the front, at least, because the sides are a lot more vulnerable. Okay, I actually almost blew myself up because I want to thermite this one. I'm going to go get more ammo after I waste my last shot. So see, you do have like a little bit of a window to where you can fire a big shot without blowing yourself up. It's definitely a lot more restrictive than the railgun. But you know, I still blow myself up with a railgun every so often because I get greedy and want to go for the max damage possible. And no, don't melee stim. Ooh. All right. I would like it if you were to. So unflinching prevents you from flinching, but it does not save you from stagger. Or ragdoll. There we go, okay. That was way harder than it needed to be. So let's take our stims. Let us do the... It'd probably be smarter to do the SAM site first, but I want to get moving a little bit faster because, wow, we are actually really low on time. I have been so slow. I really don't feel like I've been that slow though, but I guess I've done like every outpost except the fortress. Alright. Let's go with this gentleman. As he fucking wave dashes towards me. Alright, please knock him out of the way. Nope, it'll just cut straight through him. Because of course it will. Yeah, see, I would have missed that shot completely and utterly without unflinching. So the right gimp suit is helpful when you're using the epoch. Okay, the light is making it hard to see, actually. That would have been cool if I actually hit it, but I do love the little spin flourish you do with the Talon and the Senator. Alright, let us... I think that 500 kg will get a lot of value for us. 8 kills, that's not terrible. Ooh, but that, getting flanked by a trillion troopers when your primary is not great against troopers is a little painful. Alright, I think we pull back a little bit to some... Not there, okay. Ooh, this is a little tough. I kind of wish I had saved a 500 kg and my sound is bugging out. There's too many explosions at the same time. Okay, that tank's weak spot is so tantalizing, but I need to take out the rocket devs first. Oh, there's so many tanks. Okay. Let's do science, because I actually don't know how many shots it takes for the epoch to take out a tank. I know how many shots it takes for a tank to take me out. That's one when you stand right in front of the barrel like a fucking idiot. It's pretty much the only way that's ever gonna hit you. The tank turrets turn very slowly. Okay, well, Jesus Christ. I was hating on the tanks, but man. Maybe all we need is more tanks to spawn. I am resisting the urge to dive onto, or to drop the pot on the tank. Alright. Wrap that up with the Senator. I took a lot of casualties there that I did not need to take. Yeah, that was a very poorly handled encounter. I should saved a red stratagem for the inevitable drop that was coming behind me. Alright, let us attempt the whatchamacallit, Siege Artillery. Even though we don't have very much time. Okay. Aiming when you're prone is kind of weird sometimes. I feel like it takes control over your mouse and makes you aim somewhere you did not point. But that only happens when you're prone on like a slope or uneven terrain. So you do have to be mindful of that, okay? There we go. The biggest choke enemy in the game, the Barrager tank. That used to be such a nightmare if you guys were around for that. I was not playing very actively back then. That was not a good period of the game's history. Okay, I'll throw a Gatling barrage that way. Hopefully that will buy me enough time to finish this. Okay, the Knights are a little dark on this planet. I have 4 shells. I need a 5th. It is. I don't care. Static field will do. Napalm isn't the greatest against bots anyway. Okay, I need supplies. You survived. That didn't even damage me and I still got concussed. There was something really wrong with how concussion works with the flame hogs. And thermites bouncing just constantly. Alright, I don't have time to aim, so let us do the Senator technique. And the Senator, in my opinion, it is always worth firing 6 shots, even if you waste one. Because it just takes, okay, I'm doing a combo. It takes so long to reload it if you don't use the speed loader. And you can only use the speed loader if you're completely out of ammo. So it's a little bit like the autocannon, where it's usually worth wasting a shot or 2 in order to do your reload more effectively. Was that a mini nuke I just put in last? Or nearly last? Okay, that's tough. Okay, the other way. That was a pretty painless Siege Artillery, all things considered. I still think Siege Artillery is an extremely tough solo objective to do if you're unlucky. But it really does depend on the faction. Like on the bots, it's not that bad. On the squids and the bugs, if they keep sending patrols and breaches at you, holy shit, is it fucking miserable. Especially in a build where you don't have a sentry. And I'm not a huge fan of sentries in solos. I think they're good, don't get me wrong, but I like being a bit more run and gun. So red stratagems and blue stratagems kind of fit my vibe more. Okay, wow, that missile took a little bit of hair off the top, I think. Okay, thank you, Shield Gen Backpack. That would have been absolutely a fucking one-shot if I did not have this thing equipped. So it is quite nice. Alright, lace the head. Get the seed process, or the SAM site started. The SAM site's not bad on the bots. It does take out dropships every so often if you're nearby. But it's not that crazy unless you have a gunship seed. Or the gunship modifier, because I guess it's not enemy seeds that make it gunship spawn in. Are you going to fire at me? Please don't. Oh, I'm out of stims and I'm bleeding. Oh, it's... I hate this change. I hate the new bleed. I'm not making it. Honestly, I know it's a small thing, but I genuinely do think the bleed change is like one of the worst things they've done. Not because it particularly makes the game like much worse. It's not a big deal because you don't get bled that often. But it's just like such a weird decision. And it's just so anti-fun, in my opinion. I really don't like it. Like, I think there is an ideal middle ground where bleed is stressful and encourages you to really, like, get stims if you don't have one. But not just be an instant death sentence, especially in light armor, where bleed does significantly more damage. And it's especially infuriating because, I don't want to say bleed was an artificial problem they created, but it kind of was. Because they only buffed it when the Force of Law Warbond came out, and everybody didn't give a shit about the armor, because preventing bleed was irrelevant back then. So AH buffed bleed, I'm guessing, to encourage people to use that armor, and it kind of worked, because now I use it, but I still think that's a really not great approach to balance. It's not fun to create a new problem just to push like one armor set that people didn't want to use before, you know? They took bleed from doing like 1 damage a second to doing 10 damage a second, and I think like a nice middle ground would be like between 3 and 5, and then bleed would probably be a real mechanic you have to interface with, but not something that just ruins your day if you don't immediately stim. But anyway, let us do this survey objective. If I can get the code in right. I have extra reinforcement, and I have a Thief SAM site guarding me, so that's actually going to help quite a bit, I think. So for these objectives, I like trying to do them through the enemy wave, because I think that's more fun and it's a lot faster. Should I? He's not going to shoot at me anyway. I know saying that is going to get him to shoot at me, but honestly, these guys need help. If he wants to shoot at me, let him do it, because Jesus Christ. Did that Berserker just fly through the air to intercept my epoch shot from that tank? Because that's fucking crazy. Oh. Okay, lag spike when you're charging the, or not lag spike, but frame rate drop when you're charging the epoch is kind of fucking tough. Okay, I was kidding when I said you could shoot me, by the way. You're not allowed to do that. Okay, so I cannot see a fucking thing, and I think there's at least one tank on the other side of that. So I'm going to blind fire the epoch. Yeah, that's a shredder tank, alright. Oh, okay, it's a fucking all-terrain shredder tank. What, did that one-shot it? So shooting underneath the tank actually seems to be better for the epoch than shooting the turret for the shredder tank. Okay. But it seems to be a consistent 3-shot against every tank variety, except the Barrager tank, where it's a consistent 1-shot. So this thing is really not bad. It's better against tanks than the Quasar is, because the Quasar can't one-shot all of them from the front, if I remember correctly. But it's a oh my god! But it is a side grade. I'm gonna get stuck if I run back towards the factory strider. I just know it. All right, fucking Gatling. And the Gatling comes in so fast, which I really like about it. I think it's like the most reactive orbital. Okay, so what I think it is, unironically, for the well, I said unironically, but for the Hulks with the epoch, it is one full or heavy charge shot and then one like medium charge shot. Which I didn't think there was a difference between no charge and the heavy charge, but I guess there is a midpoint in terms of damage, even if it isn't visually apparent. Alright, how much time do I have? 3 minutes. I have really been dillying and dallying. Okay, I really hope that fire goes out because it's making it real hard to see. Let's start working on these. I'm struggling to hit that guy. Sitting in the splash zone of this thing where I'm getting all the mud on my screen is unwise. But let us hope that that 500 kg does what I would like it to do, which is kill. And let us complete this objective. So, holy shit, I am having a hard time seeing. Okay, if I speedrun, I can do this fortress. I really don't want to tackle the fortress without stratagems available. But that I gotta move real fast, and if I only have one 500 kg, and definitely not enough time to get another one. Yeah, I'm gonna stem just to move a little bit faster. Yeah, you gotta stop doing that. Go. God, I wish the scythe had a 4x scope. Just anything for a 4x scope, please. Okay, is this the Hell layout with a ton of bunker turrets? I don't think it is, because I don't think that one has a rear entrance like this does. But this was not my most elegant bot run, but this is a build I'm not super familiar with. So let us get a resupply here. That hit the wall, didn't it? That somehow went over there, but okay. Okay, this one does not have a sensor tower, so we do not need to save our 500 kg for that. Or detector tower. Ooh, cannon turret, but saved by the shield gen backpack. That is always quite nice. Oh, I have Siege artillery! Holy shit, this is the Siege redemption arc. That might actually help me a lot at dealing with this after the timer's gone. Because Siege artillery, it's got your back when the destroyer fucks off. Which doesn't make a ton of sense, because you explicitly connected to the destroyer. Well, I guess it can. You still have signals from your destroyer to guide. Okay, let us get active, even though this may be silly. Thank you, shield backpack. Fuck you, frame drop. Siege artillery, please save us. I don't know which one I had loaded first. It might be high X, which is bad. I should not be running towards high explosive. Oh, frame drops. They're so bad on this planet. Okay, high explosive. Just burn a stem. I miss everything. Get hit by the fucking guy. Ragdoll, please. Okay, thermite. Thermite. Please both stick. They both stuck. Oh, you. Oh no. Okay, I need to. Whoa, oh! Invisible bleed. Oh, invisible bleed turned what could have been an amazing clutch into a pathetic falling over at the last hour. That is so sad. I am actually a little annoyed by that. But for those of you who don't know, invisible bleed is a bug where if your chest gets broken and you take a bleed hit, or a hit that would have made you bleed while you're stimmed, you get the bleed even though it doesn't show you the icon. Because I think the game gets confused and thinks the stim healed the bleed, but it didn't actually. So you have to stim another time to actually heal that bleed, even though you don't have any visual indicator at all that you have a bleed active, which really sucks and is a very frustrating bug. But anyway, that was the mission. I think this is honestly a pretty fun build. It's definitely not the strongest I've ever used. The Epoch has a lot of flaws, and the Scythe has a couple flaws, but the Scythe is generally pretty good. The Epoch, I don't know, I give it a B. I had a B amount of fun, I think, with it. Um, if it had more rounds per mag or a faster reload, I think it could be a real contender for A at the very least on the bot front. But as it is now, it is just a little bit too janky to use. Anyway, if you do want to use the Epoch, I really recommend the unflinching armor. I actually did feel the difference very often. Like shots that I would absolutely have missed were I not wearing this armor. Even though, I don't know, I don't think this pass is the best in the game. I think for me the radar ping is kind of useless, but the extra armor is nice. And the unflinching passive is useful with certain weapons, particularly on the bot front. I think unflinching's kind of useless on every other front, though. Maybe the squids, it's okay on, because I guess the flying overseers do flinch you quite a bit. So squids, maybe. Bots is definitely where this shines, though. I don't use it very often because I don't think it looks that good. I don't like this one. The light one's pretty okay, though. Anyway, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope maybe this inspires you to try out the Epoch again. It definitely is underrated, but it needs some love. Anyway, I hope you guys have fun.